Hello everybody, welcome back to my look at Clockwork Empires. This version of the client is Beta 51B. Between this episode and last episode, the experimental patches actually went from 51C up to 51D. And as mentioned in previous episode, the reason I'm still on B is because that was the last stable branch release. Oh, 2 immigrants incoming. Thank you. B was the last stable branch update, and can't think and do things at the same time. Hang on a second. Go here, thank you. And applying the experimental branch updates would probably break the save, so which is why I'm on B. For that reason, this will be the last episode of my look at 51B. We've had a good few episodes there. I think we've got a good idea of how the colony develops, but also I want to play the new updates because I can't apply them. So in C, as we mentioned previously, bandits you killed would no longer drop their weapons for your colonists to pick up and use. And in D, the barracks was overhauled such that you get all sorts of fancy new modules and gun racks for additional weapons, and you can pick the loadout of your military. None of which I've had a chance to see yet. Oh, beetles are eating my crops. Okay, they got it. Yeah, so after this, I'm going to install D and play the heck out of it. In the meantime, though, we'll continue with this colony. We had a bit of a shaky start, as you'll recall. We were very short on building materials. We had a great abundance of corn, though, so we were able to trade that corn. So we made building the trading house a priority, and we're thus able to trade large bunches of corn and chicha, which we made out of corn, for things like rugs and logs. And I think we're doing okay now. The next thing we're doing is we've established a diplomatic office with which I hope to accumulate favor with the various factions, bandits, the home countries, or the 3 foreign superpowers, and through those avenues accumulate more stuff, basically building materials. Also, notification of incoming traders. Wow, look at all those turtles. Yep, more traders from the Novorus. Let's see. Stone, lumber, booze. Wow, I have a lot of stuff I could use. How am I doing for trade goods? I still have a crap ton of booze. 60. Why do I have so much? I'm a little concerned that not enough not enough maize stew is being made. Oh, that's right. And as I recall, stone was limiting our expansion endeavors. Our only reliable source of stone is this mine, which only produces a little bit of stone. But we need the stone to complete this third oven, and also to build the ceramic smithing kiln, which will enable us to turn sand into glass, and glass into glass bottles, and glass bottles into high-value trade goods. So, for all that reason, we need stone. It's not a persistent threat to the survival of our colony. We've got enough food, we've got enough beds, we've got a viable trade economy, and we're working on the diplomatic relations. So stone is just hindering the speed of our growth. So I'm going to wait for the actually, obviously when the traders arrive, I will mark everything in the stockpile as eligible for trade and see what the traders want. I mean, I'll probably end up trading them a bunch of booze. I have new overseer, excellent. You know what I should do? I mean, I assigned those last 2 random immigrants to these empty crews, but I should really assign them to the diplomatic office. So hang on a second. Who's running the... Okay, Wilbert Chain is running the diplomatic office. Oh, he's already got at least 1 employee in there. Let's give you... well, one more. One more should do it for now. And the traders have arrived. Trade goods are arriving. Ah, look at those fields of corn or maize. Okay, everything in here is eligible for trade. Let's make a deal. What do I want from you? I want as many planks as you can furnish me. Same goes for the logs. And I believe I saw some of you carting in stone. Have they not arrived yet? Okay. I guess they don't have stone for trade. Or, I mean, they're not here yet. This guy's sulfur, for instance, hasn't appeared in the trade house. There we go. Nope. Maybe there's a maximum size to the amount of trade goods that can show up in the trade house. Anyway, so those are the things I want from the traders. Don't need the lacquer, chalk, or vodka. See, all your logs, all your planks. That's 760 of trade value. I'm not going to trade my stone, planks, and logs, but I do have a crap ton of booze. Oops. I don't need these bones. I can't use these bones. I may as well trade those as well. Yeah, that being the case, I'm going to take back. I can either claim... Oh, there we go. Stone. Bricks. Okay. I would trade the sand. No, actually, I was going to say can't make immediate use of the sand because I don't have a ceramic smithing kiln. But the kiln is only waiting for stone, which I've just traded for, so I will need the sand. So instead, to make up the difference, I'm going to trade even more booze. There we go. 20 booze for timber, planks, and stone. I think that is an excellent trade. Thank you, gentlemen. Now these are no longer trade goods. Why are my giant beetles seem to be stalking the edges of my town? Did I forget to... No, these guys are... I was just checking that my soldiers here have the hunting job enabled, which they do. But they're not hunting things because it's the end of the day and their shift is over. Oh, and that's another thing. In 51D, one of the controls on the barracks is now shift control. They'd be active during the day or at night, rather than obliging you to set the start and end times of their shifts. It's just active during the day, active during the night. And that means if you have two barracks, for instance, you can have, the day watch and the night watch, for instance. All right, now that we have stone, not a lot of stone, but we have enough to get over this hump, right? So we've just built this third oven. And this kiln requires 4 stone and 4 brick, which we now have. So the ceramics kiln is made in the ceramics workshop itself. So I'll have to wait until the next day's shift starts. And why wasn't this getting built? What is this? Ah, the chemical works. Yes, the chemical workbench. Which, did I not queue it up anywhere? So I said, as furniture, I want the chemical workbench here in the chemistry workbench in the chemical works. But it doesn't get built here. It gets built in the carpentry. So I should not be clicking on the kitchen. Okay. So the carpentry does have an order in for chemistry workbench, but again, it requires 2 planks and 1 glass bottle. And of course, I can't make glass bottles until I build the appropriate workbench here at the ceramics workshop, which requires a ceramics kiln, which needed stone, which I just traded for, and has just been built, as we can see from the notification here on the right. So now I've got a brick ceramics kiln here in the stockpile. So I'll place that module. So I'm opening up the modules menu, which is subdivided into specific workshops. So ceramics workshop, brick ceramics kiln. This is a very big one. I should have left more room. I think this will be fine, right? I think that's right. That's where the ceramics kiln goes. And once that gets in, I can start making glass. Glass panes, glass bottles. Yeah. And in turn, having glass bottles will allow me to make high-end food here at the kitchen, as if I click on, for instance, keep on doing that. If I click on the workbench here in the kitchen, all these things, pickled fungus, pickled chilies, berry preserves, all these need glass bottles. and they're high value food and or trade goods. So we've gotten over that one hump. Oh, fishmen are attacking the lingering Novorus traders. Now I've asked that my soldiers maintain a neutral or non-aggressive stance or relations with the fish people, so they're not attacking. Well, the fish people aren't attacking us, and we aren't attacking the fish people, but of course that doesn't extend to the traveling traders, so this guy might be in trouble. Also, a fish person patrol somewhere. What are these? All these white dots around the... Okay, what's this? Oh, the traders have just departed, like they've scattered to the winds. They've just departed in literally every compass direction. Well, that's fine. The reason they didn't scatter north or west is because that's the ocean. Well, good luck, trader guy. Right, back to the colony. So, I'm wondering why we don't have more maize chowder. We have so much booze, and people are actively making chowder. Yeah, making food. So I don't know. Maybe it's just like super fast to make booze. Let me turn off the filters just so it's not getting clogged up here. Yeah, I only have a very limited amount of maize chowder at any one time. Just because it's constantly getting eaten. I suppose it's fine. We're not experiencing starvation or anything. I would like more. Like, I'd like to get ahead of the food consumption curve. But, you know, we're okay for now. So that's just the autosave firing off. Let's see how we're doing in the diplomacy office. So the Foreign Office, which has, I believe, 1 overseer and 2 workers, has accumulated 11 diplomacy points with the Empire. So every time I switch the faction I am gaining diplomacy with, it zeroes out any progress you have with the one you were working with. So I've got 11 points, which is enough to request a temporary criminal work crew. With 1 more point, I'll be, there we go. I'll be able to write a glowing report, increasing my standing with the Empire, which is currently 0. Or with a bunch of points, I can request temporary soldiers. I actually don't care about relations with the Empire right now. So I think I'm going to spend all my Empire points. And I'm going to switch. So my standing in the Empire should have increased. Maybe that's not reflected. And I'm going to start accumulating... trade points with the Novorus. So I'm already at quite good standing with them. In fact, my standing is 75, which if we can see by the tooltip here, anything above 33 is considered friendly, and anything below negative 33 is hostile. I want to increase affinity with the Novorus so that I can request traders. So I can have traders visit more often, and I'll be able to trade for materials more often. The options of the diplomatic options available to you vary depending on your standing with the faction in question. Like, I have poor relations with the Republic, right? So my only options are to insult 3 different kinds of insults. Whereas relations with the Stalmark, some are good, some are bad. And this one's just begging for excess metals, which might actually be worth it. And of course, the fifth option, I should say, is to work on diplomatic relations with the bandits. And in that manner, you can discourage them from attacking you, or you encourage other factions to attack bandits on your behalf, and a bunch of other things. You can eventually accumulate enough points to firebomb bandit tents, which obviously hurts relations with the bandits. Okay, so the ceramics workshops. Ceramics kiln is now complete, so I'm going to need some glass panes and glass bottles. If I had the materials, I would actually have 2 of these ceramics kilns, just so I could be making glass and glass bottles, but I don't. I'm going to say How much sand do we have? So each one bushel of sand produces 4 panes of glass? Wow. Well, I have 6 bushels of sand, so this is weird. Does that mean this is 5 glass panes or 5 uses of sand, giving me 20 glass panes? Well, whatever. I guess we'll see. So I'm going to make some glass panes, and once I've got some glass panes in stock, I'm going to make some glass bottles. And it's at this point, I suppose I should probably be considering building a metalsmith. So I've got the booze production, glass production, bricks. Chemical works still needs... What's going on here? 3 immigrants incoming, that's nice. Why is nobody making... oh, that's right, needed bottles. I suppose I will now make the metalworks. Not a lot of logs. I've got a small number of planks and stone blocks. Yeah, it's just the nature of this biome. Right? Acquiring resources is a much more difficult task. Although, where am I going to put these workers? Here we go. Alright. What am I missing? Well, or of course I have the option of building buildings that are not workshops, like mine shafts, the pub, barbershop. I can't build these two, the lab and the chapel, until I have some lacquered planks, which require a functional chemical works. Housing, I think we're okay. I might have to do a bed count in a little bit. Let's build a pub. Pub will be nice, I think. I am not even sure if pubs are functional in this this incarnation of the game. Okay. Every pub worth its salt has a door. The functional part of a pub is, of course, the booze vat and a number of chairs. Okay, booze vat, chairs. Okay, all of which have to be made out of carpentry. Actually, I might run out of wood. Actually, I'm going to cancel the chemistry workshop for now, because we don't even have any glass panes, right? And we need those to make glass bottles. So, in the meantime, I am going to make the chairs and booze vat of the pub. There we go. I believe it was 3 chairs. And, well, that's where the colony is now. It's unfortunate. We haven't seen any of the events. Oh, speaking of which, family research. Uriah Hatworth has studied his genealogy and has discovered that Lucinda Wheellock is a distant relative. That will actually make the 2 of them happy. When they discover that they're relatives. It's nice to have family out on the frontier, I guess. But speaking of events, there are multiple events, unfortunately none of which I've seen because they occur randomly. There's the Fishy Idol event, there's the Strange Meteor event, a number of different events relating to diplomatic relations with the other powers, like invasions if you're at hostile relations, as we are with the, actually let me check up diplomatic office here, with the Republic in this case. Anyway, so I think there's a pretty good overview of where the game is for now. There's a little bit of stuff I haven't covered, the aforementioned events. Also, I didn't get a chance to build the metalworks. The chemical works is actually still in progress. We didn't need to build a barbershop. There wasn't a lot of fighting in this playthrough. But if there is, if you have hostile relations with the fish people and bandits and so on, and beetles and death worms, aurochs, if you get in a lot of fights, the barbershop is crucial to keeping your military alive. Housing, I think we did a pretty good job actually keeping housing or having housing keep pace with the population. So our colony had severe sleep deprivation problems early in its life. Just because production was so slow, we weren't able to build cots in a timely manner to give everyone places to sleep. But I think we caught up, and I jammed cots everywhere, but I also built a couple of buildings specifically to hold cots, right? And also those chairs and the booze vat are now done, so when the superstructure of the pub is complete, that furniture will have a place to go. Thank you, there we go. So our colony is in a good position going forward. No immediate threats. I think we're okay. Food production is okay. I think general morale is good. Oh, and I have a new overseer. Excellent. Let's take a look at colonist morale. Most of them are happy. Except for this guy. This lady. Zora Calciner. Industrial artisan? Yes, she is. She's okay. Let's see what's up with Zora Calciner. Is she... I guess I have no upper class colonists. Alright, she's one of my artisans. Alright, where are you? Zoom to colonist. Why are you so angry? In fact, what do you do? So she was angry more than anything, and why is that? She's been eating... Oh no, she's been forced to eat the common maize chowder and not the fancy overseer food. Which is making her extra angry because she eats a lot. She has the voracious trait here. Oh, that's right. Zora Calciner also likes to talk to dead people. That actually made her happy. That was, I believe, at the end of the previous episode. The ghost of one of our unburied colonists wandered into town to complain about being unburied. But the first person she talked to was Zora Calciner, who has an affinity for death and decay. So that actually all worked out. She had an argument with Rooster Harwood. She had another... Rooster Harwood disagreed with her. Talking to Rooster Harwood also made her sad, as did talking to Wilbert Chain. So it looks like a lot of her unhappiness is stemming from her relations with other colonists. And that's going to be inevitable. When you have colonists with opposed traits and desires, you can't please everyone all the time, right? The best you could do is make things as good as possible for as many people as you can. Why is Zora Calciner so... So Zora Calciner works... Oh, she's assigned to the mine. I don't know if that's contributing to her being angry. Is anyone in the mine? Like, is the mine producing anything? She should be mining. Let's see. Rooster Harwood. Oh, the man she's always having arguments with is her employee. Also, Dewey Brazensmith, also not mining. I mean, it's the end of the day, so that might be why. Okay, glass panes are complete. Excellent. How many glass panes do I have? 20. Okay. So when I click on this and say make 5 glass panes, what it's really doing is turning 5 bushels of sand into 20 glass panes. Don't want any more glass panes right now, actually, but I do want glass bottles. 1 pane of glass turns into 4 glass bottles, which is another... That's a ton of glass bottles. That's like way more than I'll ever need. So let's perform this transaction 5 times, which should turn 5 of my glass panes into 20 glass bottles and leave me with 15 glass panes. That is more sand, glass, and bottles than I could possibly ever need. How are we doing for diplomacy? We work on relations with the Novorus, right? Whoa. Now, as you recall, we were working on relations so that we could request traders to bring us more raw materials, which I'm going to do right now. And we have incoming traders. Oh, what's... Oh, the traders are being harassed by fish people. Nope, nope, they're okay. So here's the thing. Traders are these guys carrying goods. Oh dear. Is this trade delegation going to make it? One issue was that traders who are carrying goods did not have weapons and were not able to fight back. So it used to be that your traders would have a rough time reaching your colony. Now, all trade delegations also spawn with guards. So these guys who are not carrying anything but just have guns, they will protect the traders en route to your colony. Wow, this is a really big trade delegation. And there's been a beetle infestation. Oh, no, my goodness. Oh, get him. So, I think what happened here was a large beetle that was skirting the edges of town, and my soldiers killed it. And what happens when you kill a giant beetle is that its body spews forth a number of other beetles of varying sizes. There are medium-sized beetles and there are tiny beetles. And, yeah. So we killed this one, and we had a ton of little beetles attacking the near cornfield. So what I think I'll do is I will wait for the trade delegation to arrive, maybe trade, and we'll end the... What is this? We'll end the series there. Oh, it's a bushel of caviar. I've never haven't harvested fish eggs in so long. I'm kind of surprised at the appearance. I'm going to leave this basically off bounds, out of bounds or off limits. Right? So if you highlight a good, you can claim it or declaim it, right? So that your colonists will or will not attempt to pick it up for your use. Traders arrived at the depot. Well, we've done this song and dance before. Everything in here is for trade. Look at these goods. Wow, so many logs. This is awesome. I hope you like booze. That's all we have to trade. They don't have stone. It would have been nice for them to bring stone, I guess. Beggars can't be choosers. Of course, planks have a higher trade value than logs. I think I want more logs than planks, though. And of course, the reason planks are more valuable than logs is because you have to process logs to get planks. So I guess that includes the cost of labor. I don't need chocolate bricks. I don't need the lacquer. There's a giant glut of booze. Oh, I didn't realize I'd clicked quite so much booze. Might as well take some bricks in the bargain. And I'm going to reclaim some of that booze, I guess. There we go. How would you like 45 bottles of chicha? The finest chicha our swampy, slimy colony can produce. There we go. Enjoy your booze, gentlemen. So now we can queue up the ceramics workbench in the expectation that it will not a ceramics workbench, the chemistry workbench. Safe in the assumption that we can create it now that we have bottles and planks. Here is Josh Walkersworth probably making bottles out of glass panes. Yep, and back to the stockpile it goes. Actually, now that we've got a bunch of bottles, we can also make pickled fungus. 3 immigrants, thank you. Yes, I'll accept those. Chilies, berry preserve. I actually can't make any of these. Pickled fungus requires 2 different kinds of fungus. I can't grow chilies, and berry preserves requires 2 different kinds of berries. Let's see if I can actually scavenge 2 different kinds of fungus. I'll make that a standing order. Alright, how am I doing for fungus? I've actually got orange and white fungus, so I will be able to make pickled fungus. As soon as I make sure I've got some. Fungus here. Fungus here. Ooh, 2 kinds of fungus here. Alright, I know I said I was going to end it. I'm going to end it now when we're able to produce our first jar of pickled fungus. I guess they're not going to harvest at night. Or meh. Some people are. Come on, Minerva Sanderworth, what do you mean? Nope. I guess you're off shift. What kind of shift does the kitchen crew have? In fact, who's in charge of the kitchen? Minerva Sanderworth. Okay. Let's take a look at this. She works from first thing in the morning to just past noon. So she's definitely not on shift right now. Okay, we've completed our 5 orders of glass bottles, which means we now have 20 crates of glass bottles. Oh, I made a crate of pickled whitecap fungus. Excellent. So maybe it doesn't require 2 different kinds of fungus. It just requires 2 whitecap fungus. All right. And if we go to the trade office here, for instance, we can see the value of certain goods. If I designate this as a trade good, we can see that each crate of pickled whitecap fungus is worth 240 units of trade value, which far outstrips anything else. Which I think is proportional to the amount of labor that has to go into it, right? You need the infrastructure to produce sand. You need the ceramics kiln. You need to have made glass panes and glass bottles. You also have to have a kitchen. And the kitchen needs to have ovens and also a kitchen workbench. All of that has to come together. And of course you have to forage up the fungus to make 1 crate of pickled glass fungus. Now, of course it takes a ton of work, but it's worth more. And that's where you have to start worrying about production chains, right? Can you sustain this? Do you want to work on the infrastructure? Or do you need to focus on immediate survival? And I think that's where the real sort of subtleties of gameplay beyond basic survival will come into play. So I'm looking forward to where the game is going in future. It's now the beginning of June, and each stable branch release tends to be released around the 2nd or 3rd week of each month. So the next stable branch release for 52 should be in a couple of weeks, which leaves me a scant week or 2 to play with 51D. So I hope you found this informative. My name is Alfred. The game is Clockwork Empires. It's currently in development by Gaslamp Games. It's available for purchase. It is in early access, so fair warning there. It's not done, and stuff is still going in, and sometimes it's not balanced, and sometimes it's just outright broken. But, I mean, if you've been watching me play this for, the last 2 hours or whatever, you have a good idea how stable it is and what the pace of the game is. Yeah, so you can purchase it on Steam, through Gaslamp Games directly, on the Humble Store. Thanks for sticking with me through this episode. I will see you on the next Stable Branch release.